be prepared. Despite everything you've done, there will always be those who doubt you, overlook you, and push you aside. But in moments of true alignment, they will come to realize their mistake. When your energy is at its peak, it is the wrong time to stand against those who walk in their truth. This is not an ordinary time. It is a moment of profound cosmic clarity. What you send out into the universe always returns. This is the law of karma, and it is active and swift. When someone projects negativity at you, the backlash is instantaneous. It ricochets back, and they feel the sting before they even understand what they've done. The universe is a sharp, reactive, and fast force. Anyone daring to cross your path in these moments is not just making a mistake, they are setting themselves up for a fall they will not see coming. And here's a truth that can be difficult to accept. No matter how much light you carry, how much good you've done, or how pure your intentions are, there will always be people who can't stand it. This is the hardest truth for those who walk a spiritual path. Some will resent your light because it reminds them of what they lack. Others will try to test you, mock you, or drag you down simply because they can't stand the strength you carry so naturally. And the strangest part is that you didn't do anything to deserve it. You showed kindness, you offered support, and you stood firm in your truth. Yet they pushed back with disrespect, jealousy, or betrayal. This is the reality of walking a path of purpose. Your light will always stir the shadows. There is another reason people cannot interfere with those who are aligned during these times. The attempt to steal their energy always backfires. Those who are in alignment carry a frequency that isn't meant to be contained, borrowed, or manipulated. Anyone who tries ends up paying the price with their own strength. To try and steal the light of another is to smother yourself in darkness. It begins subtly. The person who tries to drain them may feel a strange heaviness, their thoughts slower, their mind foggy. They will feel exhausted for no reason, restless but unable to focus. The more they try to pull from your energy, the more unstable they become. Emotional balance collapses, and confidence cracks. They begin to feel small in the very presence they thought they could overpower. This isn't because you fought back, it's because divine energy has a law. It cannot be stolen. It rebounds. When it rebounds, it leaves the one who tried to steal it emptied out, struggling to even hold themselves together. This is why those who are aligned are untouchable. The very act of trying to drain them is the very act that destroys the attacker from the inside out. In this moment, the spotlight is fixed and it's on you. Not because you demanded it or chased it, but because the universe has declared this moment as yours. In this alignment, your light carries a glow that can't be mimicked, copied, or stolen. Think about it. How many times have people tried to imitate you? They copy your style, your words, your energy, and even your silence. Yet, no matter how hard they try, it never lands the same. Why? Because imitation can repeat the moves, but it can never duplicate the essence. Authenticity is alive, imitation is hollow. And in these moments, that difference will be impossible to ignore. The veil between what is real and what is false becomes razor thin. Anyone trying to steal your shine will find their efforts exposed in real time. Their words will sound empty, their gestures forced, and their presence awkward. Even those who once believed them will begin to feel the difference. In these moments, the vibration of truth is sharp, undeniable, and immediate. Imitation fades, authenticity radiates. The universe designed every soul with a spiritual fingerprint, one of a kind, unrepeatable, and written into your very essence. Your frequency isn't just what you do, it's who you are. And in these moments, that fingerprint burns brighter than ever. It marks you as untouchable, unmistakable, and unrepeatable. Here's the irony, those who try to outshine you will only end up exposing themselves. They'll notice their voice trembling, their confidence slipping, their performance falling flat. The spotlight they try to steal will turn into a mirror, reflecting the hollowness of their intentions. And instead of stealing your shine, they dim their own. Meanwhile, you don't need to compete. You don't need to prove yourself. you don't even need to speak loudly. In moments of alignment, just existing in your truth makes you the undeniable center of attention. You'll see it in their reactions, the quick glances, the stares that linger too long, the uneasy silence that follows when you walk into a room. They don't even know why, but they feel it. Your light has become too strong to ignore. This isn't about ego or pride. It's about alignment. The aligned shine because they're carrying the frequency of their mission. And that glow can't be fabricated. In these moments, you become a broadcast tower for that mission. Your energy transmits on a frequency no one else can hijack, no matter how hard they try. The ones who try to copy you will crumble, but the one who walks in their truth will rise without effort. The universe seals this truth: no one can steal what was written for you. No one can dim a light that was lit by the divine. And no matter how many try to stand in your way, their shadows cannot touch the sun you carry within you. The difference is undeniable. The imitators will fade, the authentic will shine, and the world will finally see who was real all along. There are moments when people will test you, when they throw their words like knives or try to manipulate your energy for their own gain. But in these moments, something different happens. Even the boldest ones, the loud talkers, the manipulators, the ones who thrive on control, will feel a hesitation they can't explain. Even the ego trembles when the soul knows the truth. It begins in subtle ways. The insults about to roll off their tongues suddenly feel heavy, almost stuck in their throat. The plans they made to take advantage of you start to feel shaky, as though an unseen hand is pulling them back. They may not understand it, but their spirit does. Their higher self whispers a warning: not this one. Not today. This is the kind of conflict that eats at them from the inside out. The ego wants to move forward, to assert power, to prove superiority. But the soul knows better. The soul remembers the unseen laws that govern energy. When it comes face to face with the frequency of an aligned soul, that memory kicks in. It tells them that crossing the line comes with consequences too great to carry. Some will still try. Their ego might shove them forward, pushing them to test you despite the trembling in their spirit. But the moment they do, the universe responds mid-sentence, mid-action, mid-intention. They'll feel it instantly. Their words lose weight, their actions misfire, and their confidence dissolves into confusion. It's as if the energy rebounds before it even touches you, ricocheting back with force. This is why opposition is different now. Those who stand against you won't need you to fight back. Their own soul will fight them first. The whispers will grow louder, the hesitation will turn into fear, and the energy they projected will return before they even finish what they started. To move against the aligned is to move against your own spirit. That's why, in these powerful times, even your enemies will sense the boundary. They may posture, they may bark, they may even throw the first stone. But deep down, their spirit already knows the outcome. It knows that resistance is pointless. The only real choice is to back away. There are moments when your very existence becomes a message, not because of what you say or do, but because of what you are. And these moments of spiritual alignment are one of them. You don't need to prove who you are when your presence itself delivers the message. Right now, you carry a frequency that unsettles those who are out of alignment. It's not about confrontation or direct interaction, it's simply the way your energy enters a room. You don't have to raise your voice or explain your beliefs. Just being there, just standing in your truth, is enough to stir something deep in others. For some, it inspires them, for others, it unsettles them to their core. Think about it. You are walking proof that spiritual strength is not a theory, but a reality. And people can feel it. That's why these times are so charged for those who are aligned. When others look at you, they don't just see a person, they feel a reflection of what they've avoided within themselves. You become both a mirror of their neglect and a beacon of what's possible. Your presence is both ancient and future, a reminder of where we came from and where we're going. In these moments, this is amplified. You'll notice it in their reactions. Some will glance at you and quickly look away as if they've seen something too powerful to face. Others will stare, caught between fascination and fear, unable to name what they're sensing. That's because they aren't responding to your actions, they're responding to your symbolic weight. You embody proof that alignment with the divine creates an aura that can't be denied. In these moments, your symbolic value is turned all the way up. Every aligned soul becomes a living prophecy carrying the vibration of something bigger than themselves. You are a reminder that destiny is real, that purpose is real, and that spiritual protection is real. To some, that will feel like hope. To others, it will feel like a warning. But no matter how they perceive you, they cannot ignore you. Your frequency is not just another voice in the crowd, it's the only voice that cuts through the noise. And in that silence, in that undeniable clarity, you become what they cannot escape, living evidence that the divine walks among them. It's easy to think that when someone harms an aligned soul, their fate is sealed forever, that the punishment is final, and there's no way back. But that's not the whole truth. There is always a path to redemption, even for those who dare to harm the ones who walk in divine alignment. Judgment is swift, but mercy is always waiting. The difference lies in humility. When a person recognizes the harm they've caused, when they stop running, stop deflecting, and truly acknowledge their actions, something begins to shift. Owning the truth is the first step in dissolving karmic chains. It's not about empty apologies or quick words, it's about real transformation. Taking responsibility opens a doorway that arrogance keeps shut. Those who sincerely repent often find that the same universe that once weighed heavily on them starts to lighten the load. The karmic storm begins to calm. They may never undo what's been done, but by choosing to walk forward differently with honesty, respect, and humility, they slowly clear the debts they created. And if forgiveness can be sought, blessings that were once blocked begin to flow again. The truth is, the universe doesn't desire destruction for anyone. It desires alignment. Those who hurt an aligned soul may feel the backlash, but they are not beyond redemption. The door is never fully closed, only their pride keeps them locked out. And those who learn this lesson, who bow before truth instead of resisting it, often discover that the mercy of the divine was greater than they ever imagined. When someone targets an aligned soul with lies, manipulation, or betrayal, they forget one crucial thing. Aligned souls walk in alignment with truth itself. And truth has a way of surfacing, whether anyone likes it or not. That's why every time an aligned soul is lied to, something shifts. Words begin to contradict each other, stories collapse, and masks fall off without any effort on their part. It's not because you're hunting for the truth, it's because your very presence demands it. Deception cannot survive in the light of divine alignment. This is why those who plot in the shadows always get exposed. Secrets that were meant to stay hidden suddenly get revealed in conversations, slips of the tongue, or even through strange coincidences that can't be explained. It's almost as if reality itself refuses to carry the weight of their lies any longer. The aligned soul doesn't need to retaliate. They don't need to expose anyone. The betrayal exposes itself. When it does, the one who tried to hide it is left with nothing but the shame of being seen for who they truly are. And the closer we move through this spiritual threshold, the faster these truths surface. For those who are aligned, the veil of secrecy doesn't exist, it burns away the moment deceit comes near them. Life often feels like a story unfolding. But here's the truth, not everyone in your life is meant to stay for the full story. Some were never written into your ending, they were only there to play their part in one scene, one act, one chapter. And this is a moment where the script changes. The roles they played are finished, the curtain has fallen, and the stage has already moved on. Think of it this way, those fake friendships that once seemed real, those karmic soul ties that felt unbreakable, those people who only stood in the background of your story, their purpose has been fulfilled. They came to teach a lesson, to test a boundary, or simply to occupy space until you were ready to rise into the next level of your path. But now, the energy shifts, the scene changes, and they begin to fade. It's not because you're avoiding them or consciously cutting them off. No, it's because their contract in your story has ended. Here's what that means in real life: they can try to re-enter. They can text you, reach out, stir up drama, or even try to manipulate their way back into your energy. But no matter what they do, it won't land. It's like watching an actor try to deliver their lines after the play is already over. The audience is gone, the lights are off, and you've already stepped into the next act. You've outgrown the scene, and they no longer have a script that matches your destiny. This is why this time carries so much weight. You'll feel it in your interactions. Someone from your past may suddenly resurface, or a lingering karmic tie may try to pull at you. But instead of being hooked the way you once were, you'll notice an emptiness in their words, a hollowness in their energy. It won't stir you anymore because that connection was written for an earlier version of you, a version that no longer exists. This isn't rejection, it's evolution. Just as characters exit the stage once their part is complete, these people are being gently, or sometimes abruptly, removed from your timeline. And though they may resist, the truth is undeniable: the scene has already shifted. This is a script change moment. And from this point forward, you'll notice your life filling with new roles, new connections, and new chapters that actually match your vibration because the stage is set. And for the ones who are only pretending to belong, the play is over. Every aligned soul carries something bigger than themselves, a mission that was written long before their birth, a purpose that echoes through lifetimes. And here's the undeniable truth: a divine assignment cannot be interrupted by human hands. No matter what obstacles rise, no matter what plots are made, the path of an aligned soul has already been sealed by something higher than this world. Think about it. How many times have you faced setbacks that should have broken you? How many moments of betrayal, loss, or sabotage could have ended your story? Yet somehow, you rose again. That's because every attempt to derail you becomes the very fire that forges you stronger. Every attack only sharpens your focus. Every disappointment fuels the next breakthrough. What was meant to silence you ends up amplifying your voice. The more they try to bury you, the deeper your roots grow, and the taller your spirit rises. This is why those who oppose the aligned rarely understand what they're truly up against. They think it's a person they're fighting when in reality, they're fighting against a mission, a current of divine momentum that cannot be reversed. You aren't moving forward on willpower alone, you're being carried by destiny itself. And destiny has no rival. In these moments of alignment, this unstoppable truth becomes especially clear. Energies align in such a way that those who are aligned find themselves stepping even more boldly into their assignment. What once felt like resistance now transforms into fuel. The harder someone tries to pull you off your path, the faster you accelerate. The more they whisper doubt, the louder your purpose roars. The universe flips every attempt at sabotage into another layer of confirmation. Here's the paradox that leaves those who oppose you in despair: the mission doesn't just survive opposition, it thrives because of it. Every stone thrown becomes part of the foundation you stand on. And each time you rise, the light inside you grows brighter, blinding those who hope to dim it. Your mission is not fragile, it is not negotiable, and it does not bend to human opinion or break under pressure. It is woven into the very fabric of creation. This is why you cannot be stopped, and why these times hold such weight. They mark a turning point where those who are aligned stop merely surviving attacks and begin using them as the very wind that pushes their wings higher. And here is the most important part: the divine never assigned you this mission to see you fail. You were chosen because you were built to endure, built to transform, and built to rise. No matter the opposition, the world can underestimate you, people can resist you, and opponents can plot against you. But at the end of the day, the assignment continues. And no force in existence can rewrite what heaven has already written. There is one thing the people who oppose the aligned never see coming: the way their own voice begins to collapse the moment they try to silence yours. What they think will diminish you ends up dismantling them. This is not coincidence, this is law. When you rise in truth, their lies turn into quicksand beneath their feet. The aligned carry a frequency that amplifies truth wherever they go. That means anyone who tries to dim their light is actually exposing their own darkness. They might attack you with words, try to twist your story, or attempt to convince others that you are less than what you are. But here's what always happens: people start to see through it. Their energy doesn't carry the weight it once did. Their words don't land. Their audience doesn't listen the same way anymore. It starts subtly. Maybe their jokes don't hit. Maybe their influence in conversation shrinks. Maybe those who once stood behind them feel an odd sense of doubt, and then it grows. Respect drains away. Credibility cracks, and the aura of authority they once carried evaporates. Every attempt to block the aligned one becomes the very act that blocks themselves. This loss of influence is more than social, it's spiritual. The universe itself withdraws its support from those who seek to harm the ones marked for divine purpose. Their path begins to close. Opportunities dry up. Doors that once swung wide open suddenly slam shut. And it doesn't matter how loud they try to be after that. They can shout, scheme, or perform. But the silence that follows tells the truth: no one is listening anymore. The resonance of their voice is gone. They become background noise while the message of the aligned becomes the only one that carries. Here's the paradox: their downfall isn't even caused directly by you. You don't have to fight, argue, or prove yourself. Their downfall happens automatically because they stood against what was never theirs to challenge. The moment they try to silence an aligned soul, they silence themselves instead. In these powerful times, this law will be even more visible. Those who have wasted their time trying to undermine you will find themselves exposed. The universe has patience, but it does not play games. When someone decides to harm, mock, or sabotage an aligned soul, there is always a lesson waiting for them. At first, it might feel like they got away with it, like their actions carried no consequence. But over time, the truth comes knocking, and it never knocks softly. The universe does not punish, it teaches. And the harshest lessons are reserved for those who touch what is sacred. What happens to these people is never random. They are pulled into cycles where their own actions echo back at them. If they spread lies, they end up surrounded by liars. If they drain, manipulate, or deceive, they eventually taste what it's like to be drained, manipulated, or deceived themselves. At first, they resist. They blame circumstances, point fingers, and make excuses. But the universe is relentless. It strips away every excuse until they are left with one undeniable truth: they are reaping what they have sown. Those who once sought to harm you are given a chance to change, but only after they've walked through the fire of their own consequences. Only after they've tasted the very pain they tried to hand to you. And make no mistake, that fire burns. It strips illusions, crushes false confidence, and forces them into a silence where the only voice they can hear is their own soul crying for truth. When the universe humbles someone, it is not cruelty, it is correction. In these moments of spiritual alignment, the weight of these lessons is amplified. Those who acted against you may find themselves face to face with challenges they cannot ignore, situations that mirror exactly what they once inflicted. It will not be comfortable. It will not be easy, but it will be necessary because this is the law of balance, and no one escapes it. In the end, the aligned rise stronger, untouched, and divinely protected. And those who oppose them, whether they like it or not, walk the long road of transformation. Some will resist until they break, others will surrender and finally grow. Either way, the lesson cannot be avoided, and the universe always makes sure it is learned. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.